Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
We need a moment of silence when Shogun walks out.
It might be the last time we see him, right?
Yeah, man.
You never know. I mean, how many more years can that guy go out?
Mount Rushmore?
He's a bad motherfucker. Yeah.
I have about 40 guys on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, you must. Mount Rushmore has to be big as fuck.
Yeah, don't give me 4 or 5.
Well, first of all, you have to have Hoist Gracie. Hoist Gracie's on Mount Rushmore, period, right? He was the original guy that set it all off, whether or not.
I mean, he still got big numbers with that Ken Shamrock fight,
crazy.
right? Didn't he get crazy numbers?
Huge numbers.
Ken
Million people
Shamrock's
plus.
on that, right?
Yeah, he's got to be on it.
But that's kind of like the way Babe Ruth would be on Mount Rushmore because he's one of the first, right? So
Babe Ruth makes it. Yeah,
but his people numbers started it. Pioneers.
But Babe Ruth and Hoist Gracie, they did work. They just didn't start it. Like they did fucking work too.
Right.
Like Babe Ruth's numbers are legit as shit.
Yeah. Hoist Gracie did something spectacular.
Hell
He introduced the idea that a smaller man could beat a bigger man in a real life fight, and with techniques that you've never seen before.
In a 16-man tournament.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody saw triangles before.
16-man
When Hoist
tournament.
Gracie tapped out Dan Severn, no one even knew what the fuck he was doing. And then when you try to bring it back to go like in 1993, try going to your local jiu-jitsu school, tell them to teach you that. Like, oh, that's advanced. They were not teaching people triangles because they thought that shit was advanced.
It's nuts.
I know a dude who went to a certain jiu-jitsu school right
"Come on,
afterwards,
son."
and they told him, we can't teach you triangles yet. You're not ready for that yet. That's advanced techniques. They were holding shit back from people.
Fedor's on that Mount Rushmore for sure.
100% Fedor's on there.
And then current guys, I'd say Kane.
How many guys can you have on Rushmore?
There's too many. Mount Rushmore is.
If you had to have
be a
four,
new thing.
if you had to have four,
you can't have four.
You can't have 4.
Anderson Silva, GSP. We know that, right?
How did they decide who was going to be
Anderson
on
Silva,
Mount Rushmore?
GSP, 100%.
How did they decide?
Good question.
Do you know, Eddie?
I have no idea.
You have
You
to
didn't
say
read that on
who are the guys that have stayed at the top for a
Library?
long time?
CNN.
Anderson Silva, GSP, and finished dudes.
Well, yeah, but then what about Matt
fought
Hughes?
outcomes.
Yeah, Matt Hughes finished GSP in a title fight.
Yeah.
How long was Matt Hughes on top? A while,
He was on
right?
top for quite a while.
One of the most winning.
Okay, so
And
let's
he's
keep
another
him.
real pioneer that changed the game in a lot of ways because he introduced the idea that high-level wrestling plus submissions.
Yeah.
Like when he hit that far side armbar on GSP went for a
Nasty.
Kimura and he didn't secure the legs, and Matt Hughes spun around on that far side armbar and locked it in. It was beautiful.
And then what about Uriah Faber? What he did for the little guys?
Yeah.
And then what? And you know what I'm
Uriah
saying?
Faber, you
Yeah,
got
but
it.
no, but hold on.
What about Frank Mir?
The problem with Uriah Faber is he never won a UFC title. And I think if you're talking about a UFC
agree.
Hall of Fame,
Won
BJ Penn.
In his prime,
I
though,
agree.
he won a
Right.
WC.
How about
did.
BJ Penn?
He did. BJ Penn's got to be in there.
He's
See,
got it,
there
right?
can't be 4. It can't be 4.
There's 150
You
people.
had
in
to
the
choose.
Hall of
You can't be
Fame.
4. I don't know how you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to choose 4.
It stresses me
Just
out.
4.
I can't. I get stressed
Hold
out.
on. I
don't wanna do it.
Is there a
It's
heavyweight
just-
in there? What heavyweight do you choose?
It'd be probably Fedor, Kane, or Verdum.
Fedor.
There's argument for Verdum.
No, not for Duke.
Nogueira.
How dare you? Nogueira might be up there, but Nogueira might be up there.
You got. I think Fedor, right? Over dominance for a long period of time.
What about Dominic Cruz?
Knocking dudes out? Amazing.
Yeah, he only lost twice, once by choke and once by decision. Lost by
He's
choke.
amazing.
Long ass time ago at 145.
Okay,
against
what
Faber.
about John Jones? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't
Never
have
lost.
4. You can't have. He's
John
never
Jones
lost.
never lost.
He
I
lost by
think you
whooping
go-
a dude's ass and got disqualified.
How long,
Yeah,
guys?
because of a stupid
Hoist, Anderson Silva.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
You know, what, like you're talking about like game changers who
No,
changed
but
the
hold on.
game.
You have to look at a couple of things. Longevity. Like how long were they on top? That's got to take a place, right? Let's talk about criteria for it. How long have you been on top? How did you finish dudes? That's got to how many finishes? That's got to play a factor.
Well, what do you mean on?
Right?
So how long you were in the top
So
5
how long?
or
How long?
champ?
No. How long were you champ? How long did you hold the belt? That's got to play a factor.
Yeah, it's a big factor.
How long? How did you do it? Did you finish? How many people did you actually finish?
Well,
That's
it's the
gotta
caliber
play.
of your competition, too.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
sometimes guys get dominant and they're in a slump in the
Correct.
division. Like
Yeah.
when Mike Tyson came along and was murking everybody, and there was, Tony Tubbs.
Yeah, he's not
Like
the best of all
right,
time.
Right.
Fighting Bruce Seldon.
So
He's
so
not
com-
on,
so
Mike Tyson's on
competition-
my Mount Rushmore for that reason.
He's on my Mount Rushmore,
How
too.
dare
So
you.
did
I got it.
GSP fought everybody and stayed on top forever. Anderson Silva, everybody.
Hoist, BJ, John Jones, Anderson Silva.
GSP,
What about
What about
Demetrius?
Fedor?
What about Mighty Mouse and Fedor?
not John Jones.
Well, see, John Jones has never lost, though.
And he's beat
All those other guys have
amazing guys.
How
And
long-
he was the youngest champ.
How long was he up on top for? 2 years?
No, longer
No,
than
it's
that.
been on longer than that.
I don't know.
Hoist, Mark
he
Coleman.
beat Shogun when he was 23, man.
So
He
3
never
years,
lost
3
a
years?
title. He's 30 now. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
7
Stop.
years, B.
He wasn't on top of 7 years. Oh, wait a minute.
He's on top right
I'm
now.
sorry, excuse me. How about Jose Aldo? He's ahead of John Jones, isn't he?
Yeah, but he got knocked out by Conor McGregor. with
Okay,
he
one punch.
lost.
after 9 years.
Yeah, but there's a reality
9
of
years. Are
you
you
got to look
crazy?
at someone based on the overall performance
held
of their career.
He held the belt
No,
way
look,
longer.
he's phenomenal.
Like 3 years.
But the big fight that he had against
His biggest fight, he
Conor
got
McGregor.
murked.
He got murked in 14 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
John Jones never
You
lost.
have to.
That's huge.
You
What
have to
about
count
Hoist
all
Matt
that
Hughes,
together.
though? Matt Hughes went through Hoist, so.
Oh, he went through him like a hot knife through butter.
Right.
But that was an old
That
Hoist.
was not
That was
prime.
dad bod
No.
So
Hoist.
Hoist,
This is what it is.
Mark
you fucking
Coleman,
people.
Fedor,
No,
Anderson
not
Silva.
Mark Coleman.
That's
You
it.
gotta go.
Mark Coleman,
Dude.
he changed a lot of shit too.
He won a
Mark
belt.
Coleman's
He
a
got
pioneer.
UFC. He's the one who brought wrestlers to prominence.
I know.
He won a UFC belt and a Pride belt.
I know.
It's true.
And where's Dan Henderson on that bitch?
That's a good question.
Longevity, but
two-time
not-
division champion. It's
Strike
simultaneously
Force. Never
in,
UFC
in
though.
Pride.
Pride,
won the
UFC.
Strike Force championship.
Fuck
not
you.
UFC.
Fought everyone.
Amazing. Awesome.
You could argue that he might have won that decision against Bisping. If it
Yes.
was anywhere other than England. A lot of people have argued that.
I understand, but I'm talking about people who held the belt. You have to use belt holders for the
No,
longest
but
time,
Dan
right?
was fighting in Pride.
But Dan was fighting for the belt against Bisping.
I understand.
If he beats Bisping and wins the middleweight title, you got to look at him as like, man,
Yeah, but
top 5 of all time.
He's still top five.
He still
as
is.
far as the three,
Well,
the
not
three,
top 5, but who knows what the number is. There's too many great
too
guys.
many.
Oh, these guys are throwing hard right away.
Both
Shogun's
these boys
standing
are bangers.
flat-footed right in front of this kid.